Known to WWE fans as one half of the Bella Twins, one moment stands out as the launching pad to major stardom for Nikki Garcia. Let's look back at that key turning point in her career. Nikki held the WWE Divas Championship twice. Her first reign in 2011 was fairly short at just 70 days, but the second in 2014 and 2015 was the longest in the title's history. Just before she broke the record for longest reign, Nikki had to face a major challenge on Raw in September 2015, Charlotte Flair. Nikki was accompanied to the ring by her twin, Brie Bella, and Alicia Fox. Charlotte had Paige and Becky Lynch in her corner. At one point in the match, Brie entered in Nikki's place using their classic twin magic trick. Charlotte rolled up Brie for a pin, and the ref called for the bell. But Stephanie McMahon came out to say Charlotte couldn't win the title by pinning the wrong twin. Nikki was disqualified but didn't lose her title due to the long-standing champion's advantage. Nikki's win by losing meant she surpassed AJ Lee's record of 295 days as champion. Only 6 days later, she lost the championship to Flair at the Night of Champions pay-per-view, ending her reign at 301 days. It was the last time Nikki held a WWE title, and soon she would be on the shelf for 10 months with a neck injury that required surgery.
I was out for so long because we were trying so much to avoid surgery, even though every surgeon was like, you can't avoid this.
Nikki returned at SummerSlam in August 2016, teaming with Natalya and Alexa Bliss against Lynch, Naomi, and Carmella, with her team notching the victory. One of the highlights of Nikki's comeback was her storyline with then-boyfriend John Cena ahead of WrestleMania 33. She and Cena feuded with The Miz and Maurice. After weeks of the It couple taunting Nikki and Cena's lifestyle, which had been featured on the reality shows Total Divas and Total Bellas, they were set to face off in a mixed tag team match on the grandest stage of them all. Nikki and Cena emerged victorious, and after the match, Cena got down on one knee and legitimately proposed to Nikki in the middle of the ring. Nikki accepted, then took some time off from WWE, though she did compete alongside Brie in the inaugural Women's Royal Rumble match in 2018. Total Divas, which featured many of the top women in WWE, was a hit for the E! Network from the start. But Nikki's run as the longest-reigning Divas champion, as well as her journey back from injury, were both extremely successful storylines on the show. In 2016, E! even greenlit the spin-off Total Bellas, focusing only on the lives of the title twins.
It's honestly so surreal when we see stuff like that.
The first season primarily revolved around Nikki's recovery from neck surgery, with Brie and her husband Bryan Danielson, known at the time as Daniel Bryan, moving in with Nikki and Cena to help out. The show ran for 6 more seasons. The success of both shows made Nikki and Brie household names. The shows boasted plenty of fans who didn't watch WWE. Around the time Total Bellas premiered on E!, the twins also debuted their new YouTube channel, The Bella Twins. They focused on travel, fitness, health, beauty, family, and daily vlogs. In 2018, the twins received the YouTube Gold Creator Award for reaching 1 million subscribers. In 2017, Nikki competed on the 25th season of Dancing with the Stars. She was paired with dancer Artem Chigvintsev, and the pair was eliminated 6th. A few months earlier, Nikki and John Cena had broken off their engagement and ultimately called quits on their relationship. Nikki began dating Chigvintsev in January 2019, and their initial meetup was captured on an episode of Total Bellas. The couple got engaged in January 2020, and Nikki gave birth to their son that July. Nikki and Artem got married in Paris on August 26, 2022. Even with all that, Nikki kept busy, also appearing on Celebrity Ninja Warrior and Drop the Mic. Nikki and Brie launched Birdie Bee, a clothing brand, in 2017, and Nicole and Brizzy, a body and beauty line, in 2019. The twins also launched their own podcast, The Bellas Podcast, and released a memoir titled Incomparable, which became a New York Times bestseller. Both Bella Twins returned to the ring full-time on Raw in September 2018, starting a feud with the Riot Squad. The following month, the twins teamed with Ronda Rousey to defeat the Riot Squad at the Super Showdown event in Australia. On the following Raw, Nikki attacked Rousey, starting a feud for Rousey's Raw Women's title. Their feud culminated in Nikki's final singles match in WWE in the main event of the All-Women's Evolution pay-per-view, with Nikki taking the loss. In June 2019, when Nikki was just 35, doctors found a benign cyst on her brain. She also had a herniated disc in her neck. So even though she had plans to challenge for the Women's Tag Team Championships with Brie, she had to call it a career. Or really, the doctors did.
So they were like, you're done, no more, you're out. So I didn't get a choice.
The Bella Twins were named to the WWE Hall of Fame on a February 2020 episode of WWE SmackDown. but weren't inducted until April 2021 due to the coronavirus pandemic. Nikki did get to return to a WWE ring one last time, participating in the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble. Both Nikki and Brie announced in March 2023 that their WWE contracts had expired and they were no longer with the company. With that change, they started publicly using their real last name, Garcia, and dropped Bella from all their brands. For example, their podcast, which airs on SiriusXM, is now known as The Nikki and Brie Show. Nikki has been keeping plenty busy since leaving WWE. She's one of the hosts of Blake Shelton's game show, Barmageddon, which was renewed for a second season. She and Brie also hosted a dating game show on Amazon called Twin Love, and Nikki was a co-host on Netflix's hot dog eating contest, Unfinished Beef. She has also been named as a competitor on an upcoming season of the Peacock series The Traitors. Nikki has likewise expressed some interest in returning to the ring in AEW, where her brother-in-law, Bryan Danielson, is the champion as of September 2024. She said she was so inspired by Mercedes Moné joining the company that she almost called AEW president Tony Khan. Unfortunately, the biggest publicity around Nikki of late has been for sad reasons. She filed for divorce from Chigvintsev in September 2024, just days after he was arrested on felony domestic violence charges. A rep for Nikki told Good Morning America, she continues to ask for privacy for her and her family at this time. If you or someone you know is dealing with domestic abuse, you can call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. You can also find more information, resources, and support at their website.